Hello YouTube and welcome to another video. It's Steve here from Mad About Hoovers, and today we're going to do a revisited, and we're going to be revisiting the good old Dyson DC15 because I haven't had this one down since the last demonstration, and I don't actually have many Dysons, to be honest, mainly because I don't particularly like the newer ones because I find them very flimsy and very overpriced. But this one I actually did buy from brand new. I've always owned this. I was a member of the Dyson craze back in the day, back in 2006 when I bought this, and it was the very first ever ball that Dyson did. So naturally, whilst most other people were buying the DC14, me being me, I had to dash out and buy this one. But it's been actually a very good cleaner. I've lent this to people in the past, and they've enjoyed using it as well. It's a little bit dog-eared on the bottom because my dog has chewed the floor edge slightly when I used to have a dog. So it's got a few battle scars on it, but essentially what I'm going to do is a bit of the daily clean with it. It's not a review as such, this isn't, because I've already done one. Earlier on my channel I've done a review on this one. But what we're going to do is test the agitation of it first, and then we're going to do the daily clean with it. In here in the kitchen and that, and because obviously I need to get my cat fur off the seat. So we're going to put some rice and some porridge oats and the usual hard grains and that down on the carpet, and I'm going to put the camera down, and we're going to see just how well does this agitate the carpet, because there's a lot of controversy over whether Dyson's actually deep clean. I've done a few other tests where I've put the particles down, say with the Kirby and the old Hoover Senior, and they've absolutely caused so much vibration on the carpet that you could see the particles dancing up and down, which is really good at beating an agitation of the carpet. But how well does this do? I mean, this is a fairly good brush roll on this machine. If you go back to the review, I'm sure I'll show you what the brush roll looks like. So, and the other thing with this machine is that it doesn't have a standard size of hose and hose end. So the tools on this machine are a very strange size. They're actually smaller than a 32mm. So because this machine never came with a turbo brush when I bought it, I did have a couple of Dyson turbo brushes which are like these here. So if you look at that, that's pretty much the same as a Miele turbo brush. That one is. Just says Dyson on it. But otherwise, it's a very early one that they used to supply with the DC02, I believe. I think they might have supplied it with the DC07 and the DC04 early on, before they started manufacturing their own turbo brushes. They used these Vesselwerk, and these are actually very good. This has got the 32mm adapter on it, so obviously it would fit the earlier Dysons, but it doesn't fit that, which is where that comes in. Now you see, this machine was supplied with an adapter, and that adapter will go on the end of the hose and enable that to be used, which I thought was rather handy. So I can now use the Dyson with the turbo brush, and we will be doing that later on the chair over there. So let's get going with it. We'll just sprinkle the test dirt down. I call it dirt, but it's particles really. We're just doing an agitation test on it. We'll put the porridge down first, and of course the grains of rice. These are what really tell. We see how vigorously it beats the carpet, and I don't think personally that this one will, but we never know, because I've never actually done this type of test with this machine before. And we'll put some couscous down as well. It's costing me a fortune in foodstuffs here. He's put tests down on the floor. I know Roger does it on it beats as it sweeps as it cleans. He likes to put his couscous down. Right, we'll put some salt down as well. I don't know how well that's going to show. I don't like using sugar on the carpet because it makes the carpet go all sticky. Salt actually comes out fairly easily. There we go. No wonder my carpet's in such a dirty state with all this lot. Right then, I shall just plug the machine in. And then I shall stand the camera down on the floor next to all these particles and we'll see how we go. Okay. Just make sure I get it adjusted as best as I can. I might have to move the camera as well. Let's see how we go with that. So, I didn't detect any agitation whatsoever. I couldn't see any of these particles moving up and down on the carpet in front of that floor head. But it does look as if it's actually got most of it up. So perhaps Dyson cleans the carpet in a different way to what we would usually expect from the old-fashioned cleaners that used to beat as they swept as they cleaned. Perhaps this one just sweeps as it cleans rather than beats as it cleans. It's obvious that it's got them up because I can see them in the bin down the bottom. We can see them all in there, the oats and the particles. I can see the salt in there. So what we'll do, we'll just position the camera in front of this remaining piece of dirt and we'll see from a different angle as the cleaner comes towards it. Okay. Well, there we go. I think we can safely say from that that brush roll does not do much beating. So, but nevertheless, we can see when we look closely that there's not that many bits left on here, but I don't know how much salt's left in the carpet, and that's the issue. How much of that salt is still left in there? I don't think that cleans as well as the Kirby, personally. And yet, for all those years between 2006 and when I got more of the cleaners, I used to think that was absolutely wonderful. You know, so there we go. Let's put the camera up on the top and we'll do the daily clean-up with it. Because I know people like to see these things being pushed around. Okay. just going to switch these sockets because we've got to go into the kitchen in a sec. Okay, I think that'll do for today. We're sort of going into 25 minutes on this now, so I think that's about enough time to show the DC15. I was thinking there, that turbo brush wasn't particularly going around very quickly. All the power these are supposed to have, it doesn't particularly turn that particularly fast. Nevertheless, it got the cat hair off the furniture, which is what we want, because I've got a white cat, you see, and wherever she goes, she leaves white cat fur. So, and when she's bolting, it can be absolutely horrendous. So I do need to hoover or vacuum most days. Otherwise, wherever I walk around, I get white cat fur all over my socks. Well, you can't be having that. There we go. So let's just put it back together and we'll get in the video. You see, with this one, with the 15, you don't get any other problems with twisting. Where on the more modern Dysons, this here is very, very I mean, you get a little bit of twisting on it, but it's nothing like what you get on a DC40 and 41. And the small ones like the DC15 got a very long stalk, which I find to be very, very flimsy and plasticky. And it's why I just don't like the modern Dysons. And as we saw in the test earlier on the floor, I mean, it's got the dirt up, but it just doesn't seem to give that impression that it agitates very well. But there we go. That's how it works. I wouldn't ever get rid of this because, as I say in previous videos, I think these will be quite rare in years to come. Actually, they didn't sell as many of these as they sold of the DC14 at the time, because these were quite more expensive, and people would have seen these as being a bit of a gimmick with the ball on the bottom. I remember the Dyson vans at the time, when they used to drive around, had a big picture of the ball on the side of it to try and advertise them. But there we go. I shall bid you farewell and see you on the next video.